You must get fed up talking about Brexit.
We're all fed up talking about Brexit, Kate, and that's all we're going to be talking about for the next 15 years. You're aware of that, aren't you? Are you bored of Brexit? I'm bored of Brexit.
No, I'm not. I'm bored of negativity. Okay.
You were one of the very few Labour MPs who supported Brexit. Very few. I suppose people like myself said we need to remain and reform, and actually, this whole campaign is really about scapegoating immigrants. Do you really think?
Do you really believe that?
Yeah, well, that the official Leave campaign's around an anti-immigration
No.
campaign.
Do you really believe that that is the big thing about the EU that to do with immigration?
I think it was what the referendum campaign was
I think
about.
freedom of movement is an issue, and Labour has changed its policy on freedom of movement. Now we recognise that it hasn't done working class people and people in low paid jobs any good, really. My fundamental reason for being a Leaver, power was moving further and further away from people. Unelected people in the European Union were making decisions about our country. David Cameron, I think, probably tried to get some reform. He got absolutely nothing. It's not an organisation that can live with reform because its sole aim is to bring about a kind of project of a united Europe, a federal Europe.
Why is it places, often with the most acute social problems and with the most immigrants, voted to remain, whilst the place where I'm from, which also has many social problems and lots of poverty, but very few immigrants voted to leave? I
think London is different. There is no doubt about it. London
Manchester?
feels... Well,
Birmingham?
Yeah,
Liverpool?
big urban cities, because there are more resources going into London, and there is a feeling that London always is in the news, it's getting things, it's, transport-wise, it's done very, very well. A lot of people felt that this was their opportunity to really show the powers that be, because remember, the whole establishment, even you, the whole establishment...
Why am I the establishment? You're not the establishment. What's the difference?
Because I was wanting to change things.
I want to change things
too. You were
too.
wanting to keep us in the EU under a system that was not
going to... change the EU and also transform British society.
The crucial thing was that everybody was united, all these very famous experts all over the place wanting us to stay in. And I think a lot of people thought, hang on, this is not what I think about the EU. A lot of older people, and they get criticised for voting to leave. A lot of those people were people who voted to stay in 2 years after we originally went in back in the 70s. They were told this is just a sort of trading arrangement. And they were duped. They were lied to, really. The night I knew that we were going to win, I did a big rally up in Gateshead. And a lot of them, they were Labour, but they hadn't voted. And so many people came out and voted that had never voted before. And I think that was a huge... And our task in Labour now is not to lose those people again, because I think they did vote for the manifesto and for the commitments that were made by Jeremy on, leave the customs union in a single market, but try and keep as much of the benefits of that as possible. If we renege on that, we're in trouble.
Millions of Leave voters voted for many, many different reasons.
Presumably Remainers voted for very different reasons too?
They did, of course. My reasons for voting Remain were not the same as, say, I don't know, Peter Mandelson. But nonetheless, if we look
that's good.
Yeah, but if you look at the Leave campaigns, the official Leave campaigns, they ran overtly on the issue of immigration. This whipped up, did it not, as sort of racism and xenophobia, that the tiny minority of violent racists who do exist in this country felt legitimised and hate crimes increased. And does that not, you're a Leaver, do you not look back and think that was the wrong tone for those campaigns to start?
I had criticisms of all the Leave campaigns.
But you did campaign with Nigel Farage, and a lot of people within the Labour Party, they detest his politics more than anyone in this country. Do you look back and think, I shouldn't have really campaigned?
No, we did rallies with all sorts of party politics. I was on the platform with George Galloway, that's just as bad?
Is that to boast about?
No, but I'm saying that, in a referendum campaign, unlike a general election, you do work with people who've got different views. That was very much a Fishing for Leave initiative to bring these fishing boats up. And I had agreed that I would go on the boat. Nigel was on the boat. It would be completely hypocritical. Absolutely ridiculous for me not to have been there, and what am I going to hide myself in the loo so that I don't get a picture taken?
Kind of avoid campaigning alongside him. I don't know. You don't have to have a picture with him.
Well, this will annoy you, but I really don't think Nigel Farage is a racist, and I think we use the word racist far too easily these days.
It whips up anti-immigrant scapegoating. The breaking point poster, I think, was the lowest point of the entire
I condemned that. I don't. It was apart from anything else, it wasn't even EU people in. I mean, the whole thing was ridiculous.
In terms of the boss, £350 million
Yeah,
to the NHS, that was a lie, though,
But it
wasn't
didn't actually say. Come on. It didn't actually say it. What I read into it is we will, without doubt, no matter what happens, have £10 billion that at the moment just simply goes to the EU and we get nothing back of that.
That isn't true, is it? Because then we get a rebate and then we get, for example, money that we'd have to spend anyway on various projects which go through the EU.
Without doubt, there will be money that we will get back. We will not have to spend on the EU. And I think what that was saying, probably in not a very sensible, not a very clever way, was, the health service will be one of those areas that we would want to put extra money into.
Are we really going to be better off, do you think?
I think long term, definitely we will be. But of course, it's not just about economics either. I mean, it is about feeling that our country has able to take, I hate using it because it wasn't my slogan, take back control, but we need to be clear that when people vote for us, we can carry out manifestos and we can do that without any outside group of people, unelected, telling us we can't do it. It's not going to be easy in the first years, and it's certainly not been easy even getting there. But long term, I think, just like we look back now and say the euro was a disaster, would have been a disaster, thank goodness we didn't join it, I think we will look back and say, thank goodness the people of the United Kingdom on June the 23rd voted to leave.